You may kiss the bride.
They celebrated their first wedding anniversary in London while making the movie Haunted Honeymoon.
Sometimes in small ways we may not agree.
It was the happiest time of her life, Gilda said. But then she started feeling tired and run down. She thought maybe she had the flu.
She kept seeing doctors, and they said, no, everything's okay. What are you worried about, they would say. And she would say, I'm worried I have cancer. Well, it's nothing life-threatening, they said. And she used to complain that they don't believe me, they don't believe me.
Well, the truth is, Gilda was sitting on a time bomb. I mean, she had everything that pointed to the fact that she was going to develop a lethal disease and maybe not be with us.
Dr. Stephen Piver, an authority on ovarian cancer, says there were clear warning signs in Gilda's family tree that could have saved her life. He should know. At the Roswell Park Memorial Institute in Buffalo, New York, Piver has treated Gilda's cousin, Lenore Goodman Rosa, who has successfully fought ovarian cancer for the past 6 years.
Nothing wrong, huh?
Nothing wrong.
Good, let's take a look at you.
Cancer seems to run in their family.
Okay, here's Lenore Goodman Rosa, who has ovarian cancer, is my patient. And here's her first cousin, Gilda Radner Wilder, who has ovarian cancer.
So the fact that Gilda Radner had an aunt and a cousin with ovarian cancer?
About 1 in 4. She stood a 1 in 4 chance of getting a life-threatening lethal disease.
And add on to that her mother had breast cancer?
That doubles her chances.
So she had a...
Almost close to 1 in 2 if you add them all up.
And you're saying she didn't know this?
Right.
Piver has compiled a computerized family history of almost 800 ovarian cancer patients, and the list is growing every day.
And of course, the important thing over here also, the relatives that had ovarian cancer, sisters, daughters, aunts, grandmothers, cousins.
His national registry, Piver says, can warn women like Gilda Radner, whose relatives have had the disease and who are likely to inherit it themselves. Do you believe that Gilda's death could have been avoided?
I'm not pointing blame, but I have no doubt, because you have to remember, Connie, it was diagnosed a year later, and she had all these symptoms for a year.
If she had been diagnosed 9, 8, 7, 6 months before, I'm not telling you that I know, but I would bet my bottom dollar that she'd be alive today.
Although Gene stopped acting to care for her, Gilda says he gave his best performances while she was ill, always making her laugh, while all the time keeping from her the secret that she had only a 20% chance of surviving. How'd you find the strength to make her laugh day after day after day going there?
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't think I was that good at what I did. I think I was a schmuck most of the time. I only had one great thing going for me. I thought she was going to pull it out. I never thought she would die. Never. And sometimes she would grab my hand and look at me, stare right into my soul and say, really? Really? And I'd say, if I could live as long as you're going to live, I'd settle right now. And I meant it. I thought that I would die before she did. I thought she would make it.
At one point in her book, she tells us about this incident in which you really yelled at her and you said, I can't help you anymore.
She'd hold on to me and say, make it go away. Make it go away. And I'd say, now, the first time, I'd say, it will go away and don't you worry and all this and this. But later on, I'd say, I don't have that power in my hands to touch and do it. I can give you love. I can try and give you hope, but I can't. I'm not your daddy who's going to say, gone. It's gone.
She was making you crazy sometimes.
Yes, but she had cancer. So I would say to her, okay, you win. You got cancer and I don't. Argument is over. But if you didn't have cancer, hey, I'd give it to you right now. That made her laugh. But I meant it.
Hi, Gary.
Oh, Gilda, it's Gilda Radner, everybody.
Gilda was determined not to let cancer steal her limelight. And when she posed for the cover of Life magazine in February 1988, she had beaten it, or so we thought. She returned to television, and from this guest appearance with Gary Shandling in March of '88, she was offered her own network series. But this was to be her last performance.
Don't milk the applause like that. It's...
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. I haven't been on television for a while.
Oh, yeah. What was wrong?
Oh, I had cancer. What did you have?
I just had a series of bad career moves.
We had lots of fun. It's just that she died. You know, if it hadn't been for that, everything would have been terrific. That one thing, that one small thing. Otherwise, it would have been a great success story. I still think it's a great success story. When she got cancer, something happened to her psyche, where she was aware of the most delicate, fragile things of life, in relationships, in the tone of a voice, in a joke.
Are you looking into the camera?
No. No, I didn't.
Don't look into the camera.
I didn't.
Don't. You don't come in here and look in the camera.
I didn't.
I'll bop you. I will.
All the things that she struggled with. She was afraid of so many things, afraid that the worst things were going to happen to her. Suddenly, she put all that in perspective. And that's why I say it was a success story, that she learned the stuff of life that would help you to lead a happy life, except, unfortunately, she didn't live long enough to enjoy it.
You miss her? Or she's with you anyway?
The essence of her, her spirit, free from pain, the Gilda that's free from pain, that Gilda is with me. And in that sense, I'm happier now than when I saw her writhing in pain. Gilda was afraid of cancer all her life, and even with wonderful doctors, no one caught it until it was too late because they weren't looking for it.
Now, Gene Wilder is starring in a series of public service announcements written by Dr. Stephen Piver, making women aware of ovarian cancer and the importance of detecting it early.
Okay, stand by, please. Roll tape.
If you're a woman over 35 and have vague abdominal symptoms like bloating, clothes that feel tight, sudden fatigue, backache, don't worry, that's normal. But if the symptoms don't go away, and especially if your family has a history of ovarian cancer, if you were married to Gilda Radner, and then she went somewhere else for a while, the presence doesn't stop. She's still in there hawking. You know what hawking means?
Yes.
Come on, come on. Get the word out. Tell the people. They've got to know this stuff. See your doctor and say you want 3 tests. A pelvic exam.
Good. I'm just going to examine your abdomen very carefully for any fluid or any lumps.
A sonogram.
It's just some radio waves. It's simple. You actually see a picture of the ovary.
And a blood test called CA-125.
If we can detect it when it's limited to the ovary, we can cure 85 to 90 out of every 100 women. Once it gets out of the ovary, we only cure 20 out of every 100.
People write to me and they call it Gilda's disease. And people weren't talking about ovarian cancer but Gilda Radner died of what? Ovarian cancer. So now people want to know about it. Happily so. And I just wish Gilda had been one of the people who'd read about Gilda's disease and could have benefited from it.
Marker. Action.
It's been almost a year since Gilda's death. Gene Wilder is back at work. And although Gilda's gone, she never seems very far away. When will the grieving end for you?
Well, a certain part is over. And I'm concentrating on being as happy and doing as many meaningful things as I can do. So to that extent, the grieving is over. There's another part that doesn't ever end. I don't want it to end. It keeps me on my toes. All the chemotherapies, all the pain and the torture, and the truth is, it was fun. It was fun. It was the best years of my life. Truly.
Gene Wilder's campaign to fight ovarian cancer is being launched this week. You should start seeing those public service announcements on the air and you'll probably start hearing a lot more about the disease. Dr. Piver says over the next 5 years, about 100,000 women in this country could die of ovarian cancer. But it doesn't have to be that way if you see your doctor and ask for those 3 tests: a pelvic exam,